Hello, everybody, and welcome to Clerk TV. I'm Jeff Johnson. Today, we're going to find out a little bit more about Ryan Johnson, who is the Clerk of Court in Crawford County. Ryan, how are you?
Doing fine, Jeff.
Good,
how
good
are you
to
this
meet
morning?
you. I'm doing very well. Ryan, let's just start off and kind of give our viewers a little bit of background of who you are.
Well, my name is Ryan Johnson. I'm the Clerk of Superior Court in Crawford County, and I'm 38 years old, father of a beautiful 10-year-old daughter named Sophia. And I've been clerk in Crawford County since 2011.
Why in the world did you want to become the clerk?
Well, Jeff, I had previously worked in county government for about 7 or 8 years. I left. The opportunity arose back in 2010. It was under sort of bad circumstances. Our previous clerk had passed away. And I was approached by several people in the community, and they asked me if I would consider running, and I did. And I've always enjoyed working in county government. I've been doing it now for 12, 15 years, I guess.
You know, you mentioned something right there that I think is a common thread amongst people who are working in government like that, and you said community. Why is that sense of community so important to you and what you do for Crawford County?
Well, it's a hard thing to describe. You know, it's a feeling that you know, when you go in every day, you know, you're there. The people will they'll call on you. Sometimes you can help them, and sometimes you can't. But it's just a good feeling to be able to do something for the community, and I've just thoroughly enjoyed my job.
So let's explain what your role is.
Okay.
As Clerk of Court to the viewers out there so they can get an understanding of what you do day to day.
Well, on a day-to-day basis, we handle just about everything that you can imagine, from real estate records to lien records to plat records, civil filings, criminal filings, adoptions. We also handle jury management, you know, summoning jurors, traverse jurors, grand jurors. We also you know, one of our more recent responsibilities is Board of Equalization, which is it's a next level in the tax appeal process. We have oversight to the BOE, or Board of Equalization. So it's a plethora of duties. It's almost just expansive.
And you know, for just an average guy coming off the street, it would seem pretty confusing. What do you do to help the process be easy for people?
Well, you know, sometimes that's the sort of fine line
Yes.
you have to walk sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if they're coming in and they're trying to maybe locate an old deed, or you know, if they're trying to you know, find out some information on a piece of property or something like that, we generally, luckily we're in a smaller community, so we don't have quite the volume that maybe a larger metro area would have. But we have the ability to actually take time out of our day and go back and you know, help them find what they need. So it's not always an easy process, but it's something that we always strive to make better for them.
Because you know, one of the things that I've learned in interviewing a number of clerks is that you're the keepers of history.
Yes. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that in your area?
Yes. You know, our deed records, we go back to, I believe, the early 1830s.
My goodness.
Now, I do believe there was a loss of some records prior to that, I think due to a courthouse fire that occurred back before that time period. But yes, we have deed records all the way back to 1830. So, and you know, those are records that we maintain, you know, permanently. And it's very important that those records stay safe.
Yes.
That's been a recent, you know, topic of conversation. But we're doing what we can to ensure that Crawford County's records, public records, are safe.
As you have been clerk for the number of years that you have, what do you think some of your major accomplishments have been?
Well, one of the first things, I mean, very first things that I did upon taking office in 2011 was we had sort of a major historical little project that we did, and we had about 13 plat books that were in very bad shape, and some of them were not even bound anymore. They were just in a box. So I brought in a vendor, and we, with their help, they were able to digitize every single one of those plats, and those plats are backed up now. I have a copy. My vendor has a copy, and and that's what I've been striving for since day one, is taking an office and sort of moving it into the 21st century.
Sure.
Like I said, record preservation and security of your records is a very important thing, and having them, a lot of them in a digital format, or at least backed up, or digitized, is just so important. So that's been my goal, is to try to bring a little bit more technology into the office.
Well, let's get into, we talked about technology, we talked about some things. Let's get into who Ryan Johnson is as the man. A little bit fun.
All right.
What kind of hobbies you got?
Well, golfing. That's
you and me, right?
Yeah. In fact, I did that on the way down yesterday.
Did you really?
Yes.
And now you realize this is on tape.
Yes, I do. I like to golf. I'm not good at it, and the scorecard is immediately burned after that. But yeah, I like to golf. I like to read when time opens up for reading. I like to travel. I like movies, TV, that kind of stuff. So,
tell us a little bit about the county that you live in. Exactly where is it in the?
All right, Crawford County is sort of centrally located within the state of Georgia. It is immediately west of Bibb County, Macon, Georgia.
Okay.
We're sort of a bedroom community for Bibb County, and to some degree even Houston County, which we're sort of just slightly north of Houston County. So we've got a population of just under 13,000. We're mostly agricultural sort of community. I would say that's probably our number one industry in there, either timber or agriculture.
Sure.
So, but we've got a couple little claims to fame about Crawford.
Well, let's tell us about
it. A major question that we get a lot of times is at the historic courthouse, which is still up there off of Highway 80, flies the Texas flag, and we get a lot of questions on why there's a Texas flag that we fly. It's because the Texas flag was created by Miss Joanna Troutman, who was a resident of Crawford County.
No kidding.
Yes. She created the flag for don't quote me on this, but she created the flag for a battalion that was heading to the, I think it's the Mexican War of Independence, I believe, or a history lesson.
Gotcha, but I know there was a war down there.
Yes. She created the flag. It was carried out there. Wow. We got a little claim to fame. Also, Dr. John Pemberton was born.
Coca-Cola?
Yep, was born in Knoxville, Georgia, which is our old unincorporated. That's actually our unincorporated county seat is Knoxville, Georgia.
Wow.
So
those are two major claim to fames, I think.
Yeah.
Big time. In kind of wrapping all this stuff up, let's talk a little bit about, if you could talk to your constituents, your citizens, your neighbors, talk a little bit about what you want to do for them in the coming years.
Well, like I said before, Jeff, I think one of the things that I really want to try to do is as always, use technology in such a way that it makes the office maybe a little bit easier to access. And like I said, another thing that I've done is we have a website now.
Please give your website out.
Yes, it's crawfordclerkofcourt.com. And from there, it's still a little work in progress, but we generally post our court calendars, jury information on there if, jurors need to report or don't need to report. It is, like I said, still a work in progress. There's a lot more stuff that I'm sort of wanting to put out there. But that's my goal, is to make the office a little bit easier to access, to make it more user-friendly, if at all possible.
Yes, indeed. Well, listen, I think with the things you put in place and your energy towards that, you're going to accomplish those goals. Ryan, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you so much for the time. Very much
sir.
so.